Boys, UFC Fight Night Denver, I'm not gonna lie. It was better than what we all originally thought. Let's be realistic. It was a lot better than we all originally thought. We were all shitting on this card, and let's continue that into next week's card, and let's just put some of that same energy on that card, and hopefully that card can be just as entertaining as this one. But with that being said, we have literally every single winner on this card. Main card, prelims, all of that. We have a few losers here and there, but majority of it is all of the winners, and we're going to quickly matchmake them up, see who I think they should fight next. Starting off, Rose Namajunas, show that there's levels to this game against Tracy Cortez. Yes, granted, Tracy was doing very good in that last round, but other than that, pretty much complete domination from Thug Rose. That's pretty much what I said was going to happen in my prediction video. But that being said, can you really give her a title shot? No, considering she lost to Fiorot, who I think is going to be the next challenger after Alexa Grasso and Valentina Shevchenko. So there's two options. One of the options, you give Thug Rose Valentina Shevchenko as a BMF belt, but do I see them doing that? No, I don't think the UFC is going to make a women's BMF belt. Is it possible? Yes, but I just don't see it happening. So let's just rebook Macy Barber. Macy Barber still higher in the rankings than Rose Namajunas. We can title this one as like a #1 contender fight. By the time this fight happens, hopefully Alexa Grasso and Valentina Shevchenko would have fought by now, and then have the winner, who I think is going to be Alexa Grasso, not confirmed but hinted as to fighting Marone Fiorot sometime soon-ish. So I think that's what's going to play out in the flyweight division. But let's keep moving over to Tracy Cortez. Literally got her eyelash exploded off her face in that first round. Like pretty much the first interaction, I think, the first exchange. I'm pretty sure Thug Rose gave her a 1-2 down the pipe that just exploded her eyelash off her face. But that being said, I don't want to see them rebook her for Miranda Maverick. I think that's who her original opponent was. I don't want to see that. Maverick a little bit lower in the rankings than the lady I'm going to matchmake her up with, because let's reward Tracy Cortez for stepping up on short notice and kind of saving this main event. But we're not going to give her anything huge up the rankings, just slightly higher up the rankings. That's going to be against Caitlin Kuchagian, or I believe she changed her name to Sarah Minera, something like that, some weird ass last name. But regardless, Caitlin Kuchagian, I'm just going to call her Kuchagian because that's how we known her for. But that being said, let's book these two up. Tracy Cortez, yeah, she got her ass beat in this fight, but no real injuries that we know of, so I don't think it's going to take that long for her to bounce back and come back, probably within a few months, probably towards the end of the year. She did say she wants to be on the Sphere card. I mean, you could run this on the Sphere card. She didn't take that much damage, so I could definitely see them booking this one. But if she can't make it that fast, definitely rebook her towards the end of the year. Let's keep moving over these two co-main events. These two guys in the co-main event, as I should have said. Terrible. I mean, if I could, I would just, say give them both that retirement treatment, but I don't see either of these guys retiring. Muslim Salikhov, 40 years old. He did get that win tonight, which is surprising. Let's give him someone like a Kaylin Williams. I don't know. It's a good matchup for Williams, and at the end of the day, Muslim's 40 years old, so let's try to build up someone using that Muslim name, even though there's not much of a name for them to build off of. But let's keep moving over. Santiago, Ponzinibbio, retire, please just retire. Both these guys honestly retire, but give this guy a step down in competition. Probably it should be like a layup win, but Santiago, I don't know what the hell was this performance for Santiago, but regardless, let's give him someone, again, a layup win for him. That's going to be someone like a Nico Price. Last fight, I believe, was against a Moreno, which he looked like a drunk uncle against. But to book these two guys up, this co-main event was very hard. This is probably the worst fight on the entire card, to be honest. It was just not fun, not entertaining. Dominic Cruz was trying to glaze both of these guys, but at the end of the day, it just wasn't an entertaining fight. But maybe because we had one of the fight of the year contenders. I mean, I saw people on Twitter saying, this is fight of the year contender. I mean, I would say it was definitely one of the best fights of the year, but are we forgetting we had Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje this year? That, in my opinion, was the best fight of the year. I don't think If that fight doesn't get fight of the year, robbery. But Gene Silva got it done just like I said he would. I did say he would knock Drew Dober out, but it is what it is. Put a bad beating on him, and he went up in weight for this fight. Craziness. I matched him up against this guy before. I still want to see this fight. I'm talking about Alexander Hernandez. I pretty much just want to see Hernandez get killed pretty much, but if you guys don't know, I'm just like a huge Alexander Hernandez hater, so that's why I'm matching him up with Gene Silva, but let's keep moving over. Plus, Gene Silva took like no damage in this fight. He could realistically bounce back and fight again really soon here. Is he going to do that? I don't know. He seems like he wants to be active, but regardless, let's keep moving over to Drew Dober. Got that third eye, Let's give Drew Dober a bounce back win, someone that he can realistically win against, because like I said in my prediction video, there was no way that he was beating Gene Silva. If you don't know, go watch that video, but let's give him Drakkar close, no information needed. If you know, easy knockout win for Drew Dober. Let's keep moving over. Gabriel Bonfim got his first decision win in the UFC, and he looked pretty good. Some nasty knees up the middle, some nasty knees to the stomach. Fun, entertaining fight. Back into that winning column. I think we get him close into that rankings, if not into that rankings. And I think that person should be Daniel D-Rod Rodriguez. D-Rod, I believe, is on like a 3-4 fight losing streak. So it's about time that he puts his ranking on the line. And all around, this would just be a super fun matchup. Keep moving over. 3 more fights. Julian Erosa gained that first round submission over Christian Rodriguez. And yeah, stupid amount of finishes in this fight card. I think there's only 2 to 3 decisions. I'm pretty sure there's only 3 decisions, which is crazy. They're all of them finishes, but Julian Erosa, let's match him up. Someone a little bit higher in the rankings, not super high. We're going to give him Gavin Tucker. Now, why did I pick Gavin Tucker? There was a reason why. Damn, Gavin Tucker's already matched up against Jack Jenkins? Okay, I didn't know that. Regardless, let's pretend we didn't hear this information. I don't know how I didn't know this, but let's pretend like that didn't happen. Gavin Tucker, he's a little bit higher in the rankings, and he's on a 3-fight losing streak. So that's why I matched up with Julian Erosa, because he's in a little bit higher of a ranking position. He's on a losing streak. Julian Erosa, winning streak. Time to him to go higher into the rankings. But let's keep moving over to Mr. UFC 300 himself, Cody Brundage, getting that no decision in this opener of this main card. And I don't know, I see a lot of people hating on both of these guys, and yeah, it's justified to hate both of these guys. Cody Brundage, was he milking it a little bit? I mean, the back of the head shots were 100% real, like that did happen, and I do know the back of the head is a very sensitive spot, so it doesn't take much to get a huge concussion from it. I think he played a big IQ play, because regardless, I think Cody Brundage was getting sent to the Shadow Realm, so I think this is a good play for him. That being said, let's match him up with someone who lost in this fight card, Josh Frem. And if Cody Brundage loses this fight, cut him from the UFC. Let's keep moving down to the cheater himself, Abdul. Let's match him up with someone like a Cesar Almeida. But that being said, that's the entire main card. Let's quickly run through these prelims. Not as much as the main card, but huge upset win. Charles Johnson getting that 3rd round KO win over Joshua Van. I don't know who the hell could have predicted this shit, because pretty sure Charles Johnson has never dropped anyone in the UFC. I might be wrong though, but the fact that he can just go out there and knock out one of the biggest prospects in that flyweight division, crazy. I think this might be like the downfall of that Joshua Van hype train and just his career in general. He's just he's built terribly for that weight class. But regardless, moving on, Charles Johnson, let's move him up into the top 15. This guy deserves a top 15 fight by now. Let's give him Matt Schnell. If he can't get that win over Matt Schnell, we kind of know where his ceiling is in the UFC. But let's move over to the loser of this fight, Joshua Van. A huge hype train derailment. Like I said, I don't think his career is going to be quite the same now because of this, because he's built pretty weird for this division. But let's match him up with someone who Charles Johnson just recently beat. So I think it's a little bit lower, about the exact same placement wise in the rankings, but that's going to be against Jake Hadley. I think Joshua Van should get this one done, a good bounce back win for him, but like I said, he's just built really bad for this division. And yeah, probably the biggest, I think this was the biggest upset of the card. But regardless, Jasmine got that decision win over Klein, taking her undefeated record, and I think this was the first decision of the card. The other two was the main event and co-main event. The rest of these were all finishes. No, I'm lying. Joshua Friend and Petroski all got decisions, so 4 decisions. But Jasmine got that win, took that O off that girl's undefeated record. Let's just rebook that Vivian fight. Vivian higher in the rankings. I believe she's around top 10. I could be wrong, but I believe it's around there. Let's just remake this fight. Moving on, Montel Jackson got that like 20-second 1-2 knockout over Damon Blackshear. Nasty, nasty work. Officially changing his name to the Black Flash. But that being said, Montel Jackson, I put it on Twitter. I hate when they don't call out their shots. This man deserves a top 15 opponent, but he's too humble about it, and people who are too humble in the UFC get shafted. You know, you need to call out your shot. I heard his coach was saying that they have a lot of respect for Rob Font, and I think that would be a fun matchup. So let's see that one next. Rob Font, Montel Jackson. Rob Font on that little bit of a losing streak, needs to defend his ranking. Montel Jackson obviously deserving of that ranking, so let's make that one next. Moving on, we got 3 more to go to. Luana Santos got a super easy submission win in the first round. And yeah, let's give her someone a little bit higher in the rankings. Nothing dramatically against Myra Moroz, and fun matchup. I'm not too sold on this Luana Santos hype train just about yet, but she is looking pretty good. Let's keep moving over though. We have 2 more to go through. This might have been another huge upset. Andre Petroski getting that decision win over Josh Friend. This was I don't know if this was as bad as that co-main event, but this is a pretty boring fight too. Let's match him up with someone who fought not too recently, earlier in the year. We thought he broke his arm, but it turns out it wasn't broken. Talking about Michel Olizukic, I think that's how he say his name. The guy that fought Kevin Holland. Fun matchup. Petroski, I'm surprised he won that fight. Just, I guess him KOing himself with the hip gave him superpowers, but let's keep moving over to Avon Elder getting that second round submission win over Flowers. Now, let's match him up someone a little bit higher in the ranking. Nothing too crazy against Uthman Azatar. Fun matchup, a little bit higher in the rankings, but nothing too dramatically. And yeah, that's everyone who I matched up in this fight card. Hopefully next week's can be just as good as this one, but I'm having some doubts. I'm not gonna lie. It's looking pretty rough. That main event, that co-main event, that whole main card, to be honest, I'm not looking forward to it, but maybe it'll produce some fireworks. Who knows? You guys have to let me know in the comments below, how surprised are you guys from this card? Because I'm very surprised. I thought it was gonna be a very boring fight. Turns out to be one of the better cards of the year. But yeah, we're on that goal to get to 500 subscribers. So if you guys haven't yet, leave a like on this video and subscribe with those post notifications turned on so you never miss any of my newest videos. And yeah, there's really not that much else left to say except for I will see you guys in my next video.